Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. I'm your average Joe. Now in today's video we're going to do something a little bit different. I've got a tutorial for you. So this is going to be an in-depth tutorial on how to install GFX mods. So this will include any mods that are created by a creator, a mod creator that you've downloaded to install into the game. But I'm also going to show you how to create your own TITANTRON and install that into the game as well. So there's a few things that you'll need. You'll need Visual Studio Code so that you can edit the in-game files. You'll need Discovery's Patreon. You'll need to join their Patreon so that you can download the meta software. And you'll need to join the PWM Patreon so that you can get cakeview. And then this is optional, but you can also download what we call RAD game tools. This is basically a tool which allows you to basically make your own TITANTRON. So if there's a video that you want to make a TITANTRON, then you can do that with this. So we just follow these links and then we get to this page, and all the links will be down in the description as well. So before we get started, those are going to be the things that you need. So we're going to focus on how you need to set up your folder to ensure that the mods will work correctly. So you'll need to head to your WWE 2K24 main directory, create or head into a mods folder. You may already have one. If you don't, you can just create it and then head into there. And then you'll need a baked folder, head into that. And then you'll see that I've already got stuff set up because I've already been doing some mods and things like that. So we are focusing on the graphics today. So we're going to head into the GFX folder. So go into movies, and then we'll need the Superstar and the TITANTRON. The Arena you can use, but that's probably more for if you're going to replace videos and that sort of thing. But today what I'm going to show you is how to actually add on additional videos. So you're not replacing anyone's TITANTRONs or anyone's video packages or anything like that. You're actually adding in a new one, a completely new one, onto a free slot. So inside the TITANTRON folder, that'll be where all the TITANTRONs are. So these are already ones that I've added in, quite a few. And then inside the Superstar folder, that will be where you have things such as your apron, your banner, the stage, so kind of like the flooring on the stage, and then there may even be barricade in there as well. Some of these might have barricade. Yeah, so barricade is in there, but not all mods have that, and it doesn't matter if it doesn't. Okay, so now that you have your files set up, now we're going to head into cakeview. So to get cakeview again, you need to join the PWM Discord server, and then if you head to the official tool releases, then you'll see that there'll be a download option for the latest cakeview right there, and then you can just download it from there. And then you want to open it up, and then we want to navigate to baked file 02, click browse, and then we want to extract something from movies, and then you want to export this file right here, movie data table. You can click on it, click export, exporting it into your mods folder, then into the baked again. So the reason why I've named the folder meta JSFBs is so that I know this is exactly where all the JSFBs are going to be located. Also, this is going to be the folder that later on we're going to use cakeview to bake. And when we bake this folder, that's going to bake all the JSFBs. So any adjustments that we make to any of the JSFBs are going to be loaded through that specific folder right there. So it just keeps everything a little bit more organized. You have to follow the same structure as well. Have to make that clear. If you don't follow the same structure of where you found this file inside the game, so for example, inside the game it's under movies, and then movies here, and then it's right there, you can see. So I'm not gonna overwrite that because I've obviously already got it and I don't want to mess up my game files. But you just press save. Once you've extracted the file from cakeview, that's the only file you need for the GFX. Then you won't need to head to meta. So again, to download meta, you need to join the Patreon for Discovery, and then you head to the meta tab, and then there'll be a download for the latest meta inside there for you to get. So once you've done that, open up meta, and then you're going to head to file, open JSFB, and then you'll navigate to where you extracted the file from cakeview. So you should have it inside your mods folder. So mine was already there, but we'll go back and we'll show you exactly where you need to go. So you should have extracted it into mods, baked, and then it should be inside meta JSFBs, and then movies, and then it should be right there. And then you just want to open that file like so. And then you'll need to export the JSON file, and then you probably want to, I would say, have this in a separate folder as well. So go to baked and then create a data folder, and then you can put all your data folders inside there. Mine actually isn't located here. I'll need to move it over because I did save it somewhere else, but yeah, you can just make a folder, movies, and then save it inside there. And then it will ask you, would you like to watch this file? And then you'd click yes. I've already got mine set up, so I don't want to do that, so I'm going to click no. So I just want to briefly explain what the difference is between the JSON files and the JSFB files, because I feel like some people don't actually understand what the differences are there. So the main differences are that the JSFB files are the files that the game can actually read, and then the JSON files are files that Visual Studio Code can actually open and read. And the JSON files are the ones that we're going to be able to adjust. And basically the reason why you want to click yes when Meta asks you if you want to watch that file is because when you open up the JSON file, that is still linked to the JSFB file. So if you save something within the JSON file, then Meta is going to read that change, and it's going to automatically save that onto the JSFB file, so that in the game the changes are going to be read. So if you don't have the JSON file linked with the JSFB file, then the game is not going to be able to load up any changes that you've made. So if at any point you notice that you're making changes, but for some reason it's not coming up in the game, or maybe the message in the bottom right isn't coming up, then that's because the JSON file is no longer linked to the JSFB file. So with that being said, now we need to load up the JSON file within Visual Studio Code. So open up Visual Studio Code, go to File, and then Open File. Head to your WWE 2K24 main directory, go into the mods, the baked, and then you should have that data file set up. Head inside there, go into movies, and then open up the file there. Mine's already open behind here, you can see it, but that's basically how you open the file inside of Visual Studio Code. So now Meta should be watching that file. So that basically means once you open Visual Studio Code and you do any edits to the file, as long as Meta is watching, then anytime you save it, it should update. So I've already added a bunch of stuff into mine, so yours probably won't have all the same stuff that mine does. But if we save, then in the bottom right you'll see it has movie data table serialized. So that means that it's updated through Meta, so in the game it would have updated. So now Meta should be watching that file and everything should be set up correctly. Now what we need to do is determine what wrestler ID slot we're going to use. So we can use an unused slot, which means that there's basically no GFX that has been assigned to that slot, but you can actually unlock that slot and assign a modded GFX to that slot, or whether you want to just simply replace someone else's. So I'm going to show you in this video how to use an unused slot, so an empty slot, to put in some modded GFX. Okay, so next up you're going to need to figure out what slot ID or what wrestler ID this GFX is going to fit into. So I've already added in some extra superstars here. So usually these are all blank. These are ones that I've already added in, but as you can see there's some blank slots over here. So these are other slots that I have available to me. So in this slot here, why not 512 is where I think we'll add Dean Ambrose. So I'm going to write that in here. I'll write this in here so that I know which slots I've already used, and I don't obviously end up saving over one that I've already used. So I'll put Dean Ambrose into wrestler ID 512. Okay, so the reason why this is important is because when we go into our mods folder, I'm going to the GFX, movies, TITANTRON, because that's what we're focusing on right now. You're going to see that all these files have the same kind of format, but they have different numbers. So the number that is on here is going to be the slot that it has been assigned to, or the wrestler ID that it's been assigned to. So for example, this one is entrance underscore 0460. So that means if we go back to the file again, over here, you're going to see 460 is Carlito. So I added in Carlito on 460, so that means that that file inside the folder right there, that is Carlito's. So that's why you need to assign or figure out what a free slot is or free wrestler ID is, so that you can assign it to that superstar. So now I'm going to show you exactly how you can create your own TITANTRON using any video that you like. And in the video description, I will leave some timestamps, so if you're not interested in this bit, then you can skip ahead. So I've actually found a TITANTRON for Dean Ambrose on YouTube. So Dean Ambrose obviously is not in WWE, so I decided to use that so that you guys can see that this does work. So I have a little template for basically how the video file needs to be set up, because there is this blank spot that seems to need to be there for it to work properly as a TITANTRON in the game. Otherwise it will kind of be a bit stretched and part of the video will be cut off. So you need that little blank spot there. So I have a little template set up in Premiere Pro, and I can just install the TITANTRON in there. You're going to extract that file as an MP4 or whatever you wish. And then if we come over to here, so I've extracted it here. So this is what it looks like. Okay, so now you're going to need to open up your RAD video tools. So I showed you where to get that before, and the link will be in the description down below. This is going to be how you convert the file into a file that the game can actually read. So at the moment, the file that I've exported it as in Premiere Pro, it can't be read in the game. So we need to convert it into a BK2 file. So basically how you do that is you're going to select the file. So it's this one, click bink it. And then we're going to need to change the .bik to .bk2, and that will mean that now this file will save as a BK2 and it should be able to be read inside the game. And then we click bink, and it may take a couple of minutes, especially if the video is a couple of minutes long. So I will probably come back once this is done. Okay, so as you can see, the video has finished converting, so we can click done now, and it should be saved into this folder. So if I open up that folder, where is it? Here it is. So it'll be under this one right here. So we're going to have to rename it eventually, but you can see it's now a BK2 file. So that means that the game is going to be able to read it. So next up, we're just going to copy this name from that file. I'm going to assign it onto here, and we're just going to change the number. So it was 512. So just like that. So now I can copy this, paste it inside to the movies and TITANTRONs. There we go. And there you see, it's right there. So that's going to open up inside the game. So now we just need to open up Visual Studio Code and have it so that Visual Studio Code can load this file. So back to Visual Studio Code. So you'll see we already have a bunch of code inside the file, and we can just simply copy and paste and make a few adjustments to make this load up our new TITANTRON inside the game. So what we're going to need to do is, because we're just doing a TITANTRON, all we really need is to copy and paste this. Copy that, come down here, add in a little comma, go to a new line, paste. Now we're going to change the code right here so that I know exactly which superstar this is for, and it was 512. I'm going to go 51201, so that's going to be for the TITANTRON of Dean Ambrose. Now you're going to see an SDB ID. So one more thing you are going to need before we continue is head back to cakeview, going to head into bait01, and then scroll down. There should be a file SDB, and then you're going to extract whatever language. You could extract all the languages if you want, but mine is English, so we'll export that one. And then again, you want to go into your mods folder, baked, meta JSFBs, and then inside an SDB file right there. So that's going to be, you're going to click save. I've already saved it, obviously. I made changes to it, so I'm not going to save over that one, but you'll save it in there. So now we can head into meta, go file, open SDB. We're going to open that file that you just extracted. So back to the baked folder, find the JSFBs, meta JSFBs, SDB, and then open up that SDB right there. So now you're going to see pretty much every bit of text that is in the game. So we can actually search and see, is Dean Ambrose already in the game? He is. His name is already in the game. So I don't actually have to create a new bit of text. If you wanted to create a new bit of text, you would just come down here. You could type in Dean Ambrose. If I could type properly, that would help. Like so, and then you click add new, and we'll just do it. There we go. So Dean Ambrose, that's a new one that's just been added, and we'll use this one as well. You're just going to copy this number right here, the ID, go back into movie data table, change the SDB ID right here, paste. That one's been changed. I'll cut it off so that you can see that's actually been updated as well. So just like so. And next up, we need to do the file path. So open up Meta again, go to utility this time, hash generator. I'm gonna go select file. And you'll go back to the baked folder, in GFX, movies, TITANTRON, and then you're gonna find that folder or that file that you just installed. So 512 was the one. That's right here. So that's the Dean Ambrose one that I just installed. So I'm gonna open that. And then we're going to copy this hash, go back to Visual Studio Code, paste it in there, hit save, and bang, it should be done. I almost forgot, just before we load the game, you need to save the database right here. So this is going to save the SDB changes. So click save there, and we've already saved Visual Studio Code. We'll save it again, just to be sure. Make sure that little message pops up in the bottom right, so that's saved. And then we actually need to go back to cakeview. I almost forgot about this step. This is a crucial step. And you need to bake the folder for the JSFBs and for the GFX so that everything can load up in the game. Otherwise it will not load up. You need to bake the folder first. So the way that I do this is I will go, let's go and bake a new one. Okay, yeah, so here, new bake. And then we're going to head to the folder, wherever that is. Let's see it. I'm going to go into mods, baked. And then you basically want to, that's why I have the files structured like this. So I can actually just click on, let's say, the JFSBs, select folder. And then I have actually named it already over here. And then you basically will name this JSFB or JSFBs, and then you'll click bake. But I'm just going to do it from here because I don't want to mess things up for my game, for my save. So click bake. That should be quick. That's done. Then I'm going to head to GFX. It's the same sort of thing. You go to new bake, locate the file, go into baked, GFX. Oh, no, not in there actually, sorry. Just click on GFX. Select folder, and then you'll change this to GFX and you'll click bake. So that's what I've done on here. So you'll see it here. So it's got WWE 2K24 mods baked GFX. So that's the folder that's getting baked. Now we bake that. It may take a little bit longer because usually these files are a bit bigger because they are video files, but it shouldn't take too long. Okay, so when it's finished, this message will pop up. Now I do need to say that if it is baking, and let's say that you click on something else and you try and come back, it will seem like it's frozen, but that's fine. It's still doing its thing in the background. You just need to wait until it's finished, and then this will pop up and it's successfully baked. So now everything should be in the game. We should be able to load up and then see Dean Ambrose TITANTRON inside the game. Okay, so I've just loaded up a random superstar, Akira Tozawa, and we're obviously going to need to go to the TITANTRON. Let's see, Dean Ambrose should be there. So Dean Ambrose right there. If we click on it, it should load as well, and you can see the TITANTRON has loaded right there. So that's how you get a custom TITANTRON into WWE 2K24. Okay, so now you know how to install pretty much any video that you wish to be a TITANTRON inside the game. But now what I'm going to show you is if you've downloaded some GFX mods and you want to install those, and you want to maybe install those as a new slot, an empty slot, I'll show you exactly how to do that right now. So I have already downloaded some Dean Ambrose GFX mods, so I am going to actually overwrite the file that I just previously made and installed. I want to use these modded GFX files instead of the custom one that I just made. So I'm downloading this Dean Ambrose GFX by Akab. I'm not sure how you pronounce that second bit, so I'm not even going to try. And it doesn't matter that it's for 2K22 or an older game. I think if it's like 2K19, then it might be a bit too old, but as long as it's this kind of format and you can see that the files are kind of set up like this, then it should be good. You should be fine. So yeah, it doesn't matter that it's 2K22, it's still going to work in 2K24. So I have already downloaded these. We're going to open up the file, and sometimes you will get a preview, so we can actually preview what these are going to look like. So we've got this for the apron, and then the Thunderdome, so that's the full thing, and then the TITANTRON as well is right there. We don't have a preview for the banner, but that's absolutely fine. That doesn't really matter, to be honest. So we want to head back to our mods folder. So you should have set up these files already. I did state about this earlier on in the video, so you should have this set up already. But you're going to head to your GFX Movies Superstar, or SS, and then we're going to click New Folder, and then my slot for Dean Ambrose was 512, and then we're going to go with underscore, and then you put the name of the superstar like so. Yeah, so there we go, and we're going to head inside that folder, and then you're just going to copy these 3 files right here. So you may have a barricade, as I said before, but this one doesn't include a barricade, but that's absolutely fine. I'm going to paste that inside here, and then I do just need to change the Thunderdome name. I'm just going to head into a random other one, copy the name of that, head back to Dean Ambrose, and make sure the Thunderdome is named Stage Thunderdome NXT, like that. So perfect. So that's that folder set up, and then we're actually going to head back to the TITANTRON folder again, and we're going to take the 512 file. We're actually going to rename this TITANTRON to that, so that we can overwrite it. Copy it. Let's delete this one, make sure that it pastes correctly. So boom, there we go. So now we've got the new TITANTRON, the actual Dean Ambrose one from the mod that I installed. So that one is pretty simple, that's already done. Now we need to head back over into Visual Studio Code again and just edit the file slightly there. So back in Visual Studio Code, now we need to double check what files we actually had for Dean Ambrose. So 512 Dean Ambrose, we had apron, banner, and stage. So basically we want to copy the apron, banner, and stage just like so. From this one we'll copy this one just like this, put a comma, new line, paste, and then we're going to change the name of it so that it matches Dean Ambrose as well. So we want to go, oh, did I not copy the full thing? I'd go like so, boom, just there, and then we'll change this to 2. The reason why I like to have it as this format, as like 512, 01, 02, etc., is because when the DLCs come in, sometimes they may take up a slot and they may actually replace ones that you've already installed. So let's say that you've put something on like, I don't know, 600 for example. If then an update comes out and a superstar, let's say Jade Cargill, is put onto that slot, then her graphics are actually going to replace the ones that you use. So I learned that it actually works a little bit better if you assign it something like this, a bit of a longer one. So yeah, I don't seem to have any problems with that since I started doing it that way. So this one was the original Dean Ambrose one, so we know that this right here, this SDB ID is going to be Dean Ambrose. We can even double check it if we want. Head back to meta. I've already copied that, if we paste it up here. Oh, I didn't copy it. What's going on? Copy. Then let's head in it and paste. Okay, there we go. The Dean Ambrose shows up right there, so we know that it's definitely going to be Dean Ambrose here for apron, stage, and banner. So now we need to just do the BK2 file. So back into meta again, go into utility, hash generator, select file, navigate to Dean Ambrose folder, wherever he is. There he is. And then the first one was apron, so we'll do the apron first. I'm going to copy the hash, paste it right there. And then next was a stage, so select file, the stage, make sure you're still in the Dean Ambrose folder or the correct file folder. Copy, paste the stage, and then banner was the last one. Select file, banner, copy the hash, and paste. And there we go. So that is basically Dean Ambrose done. We'll save. Just like so, movie data table has been serialized, so that means Meta has saved it. Now we just need to head back to cakeview again, and we need to rebake. We'll bake the JSFBs again. So that's quick, and then we just need to do the GFX again, which may take a minute. Of course, the more files that you have within your GFX folder, the more videos that are in there, the longer it's going to take to bake, but it shouldn't take too long. Okay, so as you would have seen, it did freeze a little bit there because I was doing something on my other screen. But as you can see, it's all finished once again, so it worked absolutely fine. So don't worry if it does do that little freeze thing, it is still doing its thing in the background. Let's head back into the game again, and let's check these graphics. Okay, so here we are, and we're going to double check the TITANTRON, make sure that has changed. It should have. Dean Ambrose. So there we go, Dean Ambrose. TITANTRON has changed. I'm going to check the banner. I think it was the banner we had, didn't we? Yep. So Dean Ambrose is there. Check if that one's working. You can see the banner around the top of the stadium there. That one has changed. And then stage and ramp. Dean Ambrose. And there we go, you can see the stage and the ramp has changed as well. I think that was it, wasn't it? I don't think we had a barricade. Did we have an apron? I think we did, actually. Yeah, Dean Ambrose there as well. So there we go. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this little tutorial. I hope it's helped you as well. If it has, then please do drop a like down below. Also subscribe to the channel to check out my WWE 2K24 Universe Mode series. And if there is any other tutorials on mods that you want me to do, then do let me know in the comments. Maybe I can do something about adding in superstars through meta and that sort of thing as well. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good one. Take care and peace.